Okay, this morning my assistant Jonathan and I are going to be dehydrating some apples. They put some organic apples on sale for $1.98 for a bag, so we just couldn't pass it up, but there's too many to just keep around. We don't want them to go bad, so we're going to dehydrate them. But we're going to do an experiment. We're going to do half of them where we're going to do a citric acid wash on them, and the other half we are not going to do a citric acid wash. And my assistant Jonathan will be doing the peeling this morning, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, let me get all the apples focused here. And so we have 4 bags left because we made some apple crumble pie the other day. Or actually it was last week. But we're going to do 2 bags again with citric acid, and it's called Fruit Fresh. And we're going to do the other half without it so that people can see the difference. And basically it's supposed to keep it fresh longer, they say, and prevent it from browning. To me, it doesn't really matter with my apples, but again, some people it does. And especially when you're canning, some people like to use the Fruit Fresh first to keep them from browning in the jars. Again, it just kind of depends on what you prefer. But we're going to do it both ways so that you could see the outcome. And let's see what the instructions here are. The instruction says to sprinkle half a teaspoon of fresh fruit on 1 cup of sliced fruit, if you're just going to use it to keep it fresh. Canning or freezing or dehydrating. Here we go, dehydrating. Preheat the fruit in 2 tablespoons, or excuse me, pre-treat the fruit in 2 tablespoons of Fruit Fresh to 2 quarts of water. Drain and pat dry, and then prepare as normal. So that's easy enough. We're going to put 2 tablespoons, I said teaspoons, but we're going to put 2 tablespoons of Fruit Fresh into 2 quarts of water. We'll dip the apples, pat them dry, and put them on the trays. Okay? Okay, so we've got 1 quart of water, and we'll get 1 more. And use cold water when you do this, because warm water obviously will brown the fruit faster. You don't want your fruit getting warm when you're doing this. So 2 quarts, and then we'll mix in 2 tablespoons of Fruit Fresh. And let's see, the ingredients on this Fruit Fresh is dextrose, ascorbic acid, vitamin C, citric acid, silicon dioxide for anti-caking, and it contains no sulfites. So, now those ingredients will kind of tell you why. There's 1 tablespoon. I don't usually like to use it. I just do this for experiments, and sometimes when I'm teaching some younger ones some classes, because I've got plain citric acid that I use for like some of my cheese making stuff. Stirred it. That should be good to go. So the non-treated will go in this bowl, and the treated will go in the other bowl. Okay, so are you ready to start peeling, assistant?
I am born ready, Mother.
You are born ready. Okay, let's see.
You like to hear that, huh?
Yeah, the stick thing came off here. Let's see if we can have some success here in peeling. Okay.
Hey, look.
I know, it's great, isn't it? And this actually, is it coming off again?
Yeah.
It peels in cores, but, let's back it up a little bit. Careful. Wait. There we go, that should do it.
Now let's try this again.
Yeah. It peels in cores and slices, so keep going. Okay, we've got some soft ends here, so that's not going to work. That's okay, we'll take that one and we will
feed it to the golden chicken. Who cares?
We'll peel it ourselves. Okay, let's try this one now.
Oh,
That's okay. Just leave it. And then the peels, we don't even waste the peels. Sometimes if I'm just not up to doing anything with them, we feed them to the goats and chickens. But other times I'll take them and I'll cook them down with a little bit of honey and stuff, and then we'll turn them into, keep going, there you go. Oh, good, did it all.
Oh, Mom, this be fun. I like doing this.
And there you have it, see, sliced. And we're gonna just put the first bag, will go all into the fruit fresh. Okay. Oops. And we will keep, like I said, the peels. We'll turn those into some fruit snacks later. We'll cook them.
And sometimes we feed the goats and chickens.
Yeah. Make sure you don't put that all the way through again. Okay. And we'll pull this all the way back. Okay, and off you go. Okay.
How's that?
One more time. Good, right there. Good job. And a little tip is when you dehydrate them, keep track of how much or what the weight or the amount is that you put on each tray or each batch that you do, so that when you rehydrate them, you'll be able to grab it. I like to bag them up in like, this was 1 pound or this was 2 pounds. So when I go to make a pie, I can just grab it off the shelf and I know how much is already in there when I rehydrate it. And it takes roughly, what, 5 seconds an apple? Good job, Jonathan. They don't have to be perfect, just break them off.
Like this?
There you go. Pull that peel off. There you go, the core, I mean. Can you get it?
No. Actually, you did it.
Yeah, there you go.
Sometimes it's hard to get that off sometime, Mama.
Yep. And last one out of this 2-pound bag, and then we'll go ahead and get this last one peeled, and then we'll dip it and we'll rinse those and put them on the dehydrator trays and start them dehydrating. We'll know that's batch number 1, citric acid or fruit fresh. And since I'm doing this in stages, batches I should say, I'm not going to rinse out the citric acid that I have in this particular bowl. I'm going to take these apples, put them in another bowl, and rinse them in cold water. Okay, so I rinsed them thoroughly, and now I'm just going to pour them out onto a clean towel so that I can pat them. And I'm not going to pat each individual piece because, as you can imagine, that would be like a time-consuming thing if you were doing a lot of apples. But, you know, you just want to get so there's not all that excess moisture, because basically it's just going to make it take that much longer to dehydrate. Okay, that should be decent enough. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's get these lined out on our trays and get them ready to go in the dehydrator. Okay, now we're just going to spread them out on the trays. Would you like to do this, Jonathan?
I did that yourself from. I know. Go ahead. Can you?
Yeah. Just want to leave enough space between each one so the air can flow. You don't really want them touching each other. But when you've got a lot of apples, you can't be real wasteful on space. And I'm lucky enough, I do have a 9-tray Excalibur, so that gives me a little more space. Hold on. So you don't want them touching each other, okay?
Mom, why's the peel?
That's not, there's apple on the back, okay? And you do the next tray while I'll put this one in, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Good job. Okay, and we have all these apple peels now. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to put them in. And you can do the cores and everything. It doesn't matter. Cook them, get full use out of everything. And I'm just going to go ahead and I decided I'm going to cut this apple up in there and use it as part of my dehydrated fruit. So.
I did it.
Excellent. Throw it on in.
Had to.
Just push this thing here. No, here. Push
That-
it
In?
in. Yeah, there you go. And pull this back. You have to do it at the same time. Push that in and back. Very good.
Oh, like this.
That's right, like that.
Oh, Mom. There's a.
Soft spot?
Yeah.
Okay, put that one down. We'll cut away and use that for the fruit snacks. Gotta push it on. Gotta put it on straight. Okay. Okay, so Jonathan has got, put it in the center of it. There you go, see, right there. And Jonathan's got the last one that we're going to dip in the fruit fresh. And then we will move on, which the peeling and the coring and all that part is all the same. The only difference is we won't be dipping and patting this time. Dipping, rinsing, and patting. Okay, that's the last apple for the fruit fresh. And like I said, I already got the ones that we just did in the dehydrator, and they are dehydrating at 135. Okay, since this was the last batch for the fruit fresh, just rinsed them right there in the thing that I had it in with the fruit fresh, the bowl I should say, not the thing. And you can tell that none of them turned brown, even sitting there for that while we were peeling. But you will note that the ones that we do without the fruit fresh will turn a slight brown. So it doesn't do anything to the taste, it's just a matter of preference. Some people just don't like to see their fruit turn brown. Alright, we're down to the last 4 pounds of apples, and these 4 pounds will not be treated with the fruit fresh. I'm going to take one of the trays and take it out of order so that you won't know that the first 5 are like fruit fresh and the last 4 are not. I'm going to put one and mix it in, and then we'll see if you'll be able to tell which one has fruit fresh and which one doesn't. Okay, and here you'll see a batch of the apples that have not been treated in the fruit fresh, and you can see after a few minutes they already start to get a light brown tinge to them. But again, they'll still taste the same. So, and this is literally after like just a couple of minutes. And that's the last 4 trays. We're going to put those in the dehydrator at 135 degrees Fahrenheit, at least 4 hours. Okay, we're about 2 hours into the process. I'm adding the roll up in here, and you'll see I already consolidated 2 trays to make room for the roll up. So you can see they've shrunk, and you're going to dry them until they are, see, this one is drier. These are a little thicker too, because the apple peeler slices them thicker. You can slice them thinner if you like, but I like it this way because then when they are dried, you got a little more to bite on. But so this is halfway through the process basically. At least it could, I mean, and obviously it could take much longer, but like here you'll see that one's already almost done. Here, almost done. So not going to be much longer. Maybe 2-3 hours. I made some good progress. Not quite there, But, oh, there's a, see, like this one is almost there. So you want them leathery, but these are still a little smushy in the middle, but like here, those are pretty good. So they're almost there on a few of them. I did combine the sheets, like I said, so. And if you'll see, on these first ones are the ones that I dipped or rinsed, soaked, whatever you want to call it, in the fruit fresh. That one's actually being done. So some of those I think I'll go ahead and be removing pretty soon because some of them are already done like that. These were dipped in the fruit fresh also. So they actually went in before the last batch too. So these are pretty close to being done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one also dipped in the fruit fresh. Okay. So now I'm going to show you the ones that were not dipped in the fruit fresh. Know if you can tell in that light a difference. There's not a whole lot of difference there. Okay. So let me turn another light on. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fruit fresh and not fruit fresh. Okay, so you'll see this one is definitely lighter. This one, as it's been drying, it's got a little bit of a brown tinge to it, but there's not that much of a difference. You know, it just depends. You can see, like I said, it's browner, and that's fine. But some people just don't like it. So it's up to you, really. Taste-wise, the fruit fresh, it doesn't do anything to the taste. If anything, I might use just plain citric acid compared to citric acid in the fruit fresh that also has the other additives. Okay? A minute, and the apple rings themselves are done. I tried a few of them. So they're nice and leathery, but if you taste them, they are good and dry. So let's see. Yeah. They break apart. So that's it. Took about 6.5 hours. Okay, here's the 2 trays of the apples. The bottom tray was the tray that we did the fruit fresh on, and the top tray was the tray that we did not do the fruit fresh on. I'm going to pick up 2 apples side by side, and you will see apple, no fruit fresh, apple with the fruit fresh. And you can tell this one is definitely several shades darker. It's tanned, so to speak. But again, the taste is exactly the same. Long-term storage, I don't know really. That'd actually be a good question. I think I will store them separately and label them and see if they store any differently. So that's it. Fruit fresh or citric acid, no citric acid.